Do you wish you could be one of those people that's happy and positive all the time, who always thinks positive thoughts and is just full of like vibrant positivity? If so, I hope this video helps. I'm Krishanti with Krishanti.com, and I talk all about how to develop your intuition on this channel. And it's true that thoughts are things, like thoughts have a powerful form of energy attached to them. And a lot of us have a hard time thinking positively all the time, but we're told that we must think positive to have a happy life and to just have all the good things and all of that stuff. So I've got some tips that will help with steering yourself more into that positive, happy thoughts direction in this video. But what I'd like to say that's really important is that a lot of people are not thinking positive thoughts like all the time. For many of us, it's a struggle. And I think it's important to say that because there's so much out there. There's so many people that are just preaching like, be happy, think positive. It's like, how? Like, I can't, it's too hard. And so realistically speaking, to go from having negative thoughts and feeling negative like a lot of the time to being happy and positive all of the time, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not realistic. But to go from having a lot of these negative thoughts that are uncomfortable to more of neutrality and then to more positivity, like kind of gradually turning the ship, that is definitely possible. So let's talk about things that can help. Now, the first thing to be aware of, the very first, most important thing of all, is that negative thoughts and thinking negatively and having really strong negative kind of stuff flowing through you is hurtful. It hurts you. It's detrimental. One of the easiest ways I can tell you that it hurts you is repeated negativity can kind of somehow seep into your body. Like kids who were traumatized as children often have all kinds of ailments as adults because it's like this negative energy kind of sits in you. And then you start having stomach problems or migraines or like aches and pains, or then it develops into illness. I mean, it can weaken you. And it's important to just know that if you're thinking something negative about yourself, if you're thinking something negative about someone who did something to you, and you're thinking the thoughts, but you're not coming up with a solution, it's just around and around and around, it's like creating like a whirlwind of dark energy that can just hurt your body. You don't want to hurt your body. You don't want to hurt yourself. So being aware that it hurts you and then that you don't want to hurt yourself, baseline, that's one of the most important things to do. Now, the next thing with that is, so with that comes an intention. Okay, wait, these thoughts are hurting me and they have the potential to really hurt me and make me really physically ill over the next few decades, or if not sooner. I don't want to do that. Then comes, what do I want to do? Okay. And these three basic tools will help. So the first is any kind of visual reminder or cue to stop the thoughts, stop that vibration from going on and on and on and on and on. So you can have a beautiful bracelet, a ring, a necklace, any kind of talisman sort of that you love, that is special to you, that's like sacred, but you got to love it. Like, get yourself something good. You deserve it. And then wear it with the intention that if a thought comes through and it's really taking up all of your space, you see that and it reminds you, it's just a visual cue. Okay, wait, I got to stop this. And then distract yourself, like throw yourself into your work. We're going to talk about other techniques coming up, but it's really good to like occupy your mind and like do something different that you have to think about to quell that negative thought. Now, let's go on to some energy techniques. But before I get into that, if you have negative thoughts and you have ways that have helped you to stop them, please share in the comments below. I'd love to hear your path and your story. And or any kind of input or advice. It would be just great to hear from you. Now, this energetic technique is really good in meditation. Let's say you're going to do a 30-minute healing on yourself. And at Krishantiw.com, I've created these guided energy healing like meditations. So you lie down and it's like you're meditating, but you're getting an energy healing. It's a short, like fun, easy thing. But you can do this on the go as well. So let's say you're doing your thing, right? And then here comes the negative thought or the reminder or something pops up or it just comes, floats on that little river of negativity in your brain. And no offense, this is like, I have these thoughts. I'm talking to myself as much as to you because I'm working on this too. The majority of the clients I worked with for the past 10 to 20 years have also had these issues and have worked with these techniques as well. So when that thought comes floating down that river, what you can do is stop everything if you're able to. It's good to stop everything because you're also acknowledging like, hey, wait a second, this sucks. Let's stop. Get an image, like a visual of the person or the circumstance that is bothering you. And just close your eyes and like see it in your mind's eye. And then imagine a light brighter than the sun or as bright as the sun. You know, you can't stare at the sun and it'll like burn your eyes and stuff. So a light like that bright. See it go into that image and just watch that light dissolve the picture, dissolve the energy. Now, I learned this from my teachers and my guides also taught me this as well. And they said like hold it in the forefront of your brain, like kind of try to bring it up to that part of your brain. This thing I'm telling you is kind of in front of you here and then burn it. The guides also suggested holding it like here in your brain and then like having that bright light burning out that way. So play around with the technique, but ideally the point is you get a visual on the person or the circumstance that's bumming you out. You bring in this brilliant light and you just burn it all away and you see it all dissolve into light, into nothingness. This is nothing. This is nothing. What you're doing, this is a clairvoyant technique, guys. What you're doing is you're de-energizing it. You're just taking the energy away. You're just disintegrating it. Now, this is not going to work in one try. You want to keep doing this technique when the thought comes up. But if you're consistent with it, the energy will be gone completely and that negativity will no longer be in your life. So try it out. And if you do try it and it works, put it in the comments. And if you have trouble, put it in the comments and let me know and we can figure out how to make it better. I've been trying that one in deep meditation and I'm feeling it have an effect. But some of these techniques though, you know, if it's very, very serious, you've been traumatized, you are under a lot of stress, will take more time to do. But it's effective, so keep at it. Now, the third way is, think of it more like you're escaping, like kind of an escape room kind of thing. I know that's not what escape rooms really are all about though, but ultimately what you want to do is the thought comes up and it creates pain and you know it hurts you from the first thing we talked about. You don't want to think these thoughts. You're not really getting a solution, and that's important because sometimes thinking things over, we come up with a solution, but when you keep thinking it over and you're like, this is going nowhere, you got to get rid of the thought, right? What you can do is create between 1 and 3, keep it simple, scenes that are so everything for you. Like whether it's relaxing in a hammock on the beach, if it's curled up in bed on a rainy night with the fireplace going, if a big hug, like someone you love giving you a big warm hug, some kind of image that you can jump into and escape into. You just jump there and like feel it, and try to feel it for, start with 5 seconds. Then try to see if you can do it for longer. And it's a fun game because what you're doing is you're immediately pulling yourself out of that negativity and that thought and putting yourself into something comforting and loving, like rescuing. And just try it, and then go. It's key. This is kind of the other part of it, is distract your brain. So your brain's tricked into thinking, okay, so this negative thought, no, I jumped into this scene. That was so comforting. I was able to hold it for 5 seconds. Now I'm going to go finish this financial project right now. Like, it's training the brain to also experience a different type of energy, because the brain can get used to that. And I read a book that was really interesting about how when we're raised as children in traumatic environments, like I was, my mom was dying of cancer, and this old babysitter she had, like a nanny she had looking after me, was really abusive. When you're raised in a negative environment, or you're abused, or it's just a horrible childhood for whatever reason, you can grow up to think that that's the way you're meant to be unhappy. Like, your parents wanted you to be unhappy. You want to do what they want for you. And the concept is really interesting. And so you believe that you are meant to be as unhappy as they wanted you to be for the rest of your life. And that book really hit it home for me, because they're all about children. These psychologists who are very child focused, which was lovely. It was like, children can do no wrong, and they're wonderful, and we must raise them with love. But so many of us weren't. And then we think that we're supposed to be unhappy. And then these spiritual teachers come in and say, be positive, think positively, be happy. Well, you know what? Sometimes thinking negatively is a form of protection, because who wants false hope? Why would I blindly go out there and be like, everybody has my best interests at heart, I'm safe wherever I go, nothing ever goes wrong? Well, that's delusional. And so for some of us, like, the negativity is like a defense mechanism. It protects us. It's like, watch out for all these scary things that could happen, because they have happened before, and we know history repeats itself. So the key is to just keep working with the tools. And again, if you want to check out some of the meditations that I've made at Krishantiw.com, they're there to help you heal. The whole point is to help facilitate a healing from whatever it is that magnetizes us to that, or makes us feel like we don't have a right to be happy, or that it's silly to be overly positive. You know what I mean? So check that out. Try these exercises, and I really hope they help. I've got to say this again. If I'm repeating myself, I apologize. Or if I didn't already say it, remember, you're not going to go from 0 to 180 like all at once. It's going to take time, but just be gentle with yourself. Chip away at it, like, just little by little, like, redirect the thoughts towards lovingness, towards positivity, towards happy scenes, towards eliminating the negativity. And always remember, at all costs, it's self-love. So if you have thoughts that are like, I hate you, or you're stupid, or negative self-talk, right away, no, I love you. No, you're not dumb. It's like a constant kind of retraining, until you realize in 5 years, oh my God, wait, I used to feel that a whole lot more, and I'm feeling a lot happier these days. That's kind of how it works. And I really want that for you and for me. So let's see if we can make this work for ourselves. And thanks so much for being here, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.